What's up? It's your boy Karceno here, and I'm taking a break from my house of cards. Normally that's like Shabbos, you know, the day of rest. I watch House of Cards, and that's it. Nothing else happens unless it's an emergency. Um, I'm liking the way this season's going, so I figured now is a good time to take a break, hit y'all with a little video, and I'll finish the story up for you guys. From Karceno Hood Stories 29, we'll jump right into 30. So this is Karceno's Hood Stories, number 30, finishing up the stories. And I told you, there was some poser gangster disciples at that time. Now, this is before, World Wide Web and all that stuff, but there was posers at this time. And it's this bad chick, she's pretty put together. Real cute girl, man. I'm trying to think who she remind me of. But anyway, she sits up there, and girls do this from time to time. They think because they friends with someone, their friends is going to blend in well with their other friends. And they just don't see the danger because it's going to be guys and girls. Back then, you couldn't just do that. You couldn't just have a party and have people meet in a place where other people were going to be there. You had to know who was going to be there. That was a major thing back in the day. You really had to know. Like, I need to know who's going to be there, what's going down, and so and so. And in this case, well, let's just tell the story. So, this girl decides she wants to throw a party. Now, nothing big about it, she's throwing a party. And she goes to school or hang out with live around a bunch of gangster disciples. So the majority of her friends are gangster disciples. Now, she goes to her cousin's house on the weekends on the west side. And over there's a lot of vice lords. And we know some of the vice lords that they know that lives out here. So one of the vice lords there, Goldie, decides that he's going to come to the party, but he ain't going to come there knowing that she associated with a lot of these gangster disciples that he know, and they know him. So he said, I'm not finna come to this party by myself around all these gangster disciples. So what he does is say, I'm going to bring a couple of my friends. And she said, cool. So you know what that brings, right? He brings in about 5, 6, 7, 8 vice lords from the west side to a suburban area out here. And they ain't never been out here. So they don't even know where they at. But they out here at this party from the west side. And they don't play this fake stuff. They ain't with the Hollywood flashing poster gangster disciples. They used to seeing real things go down. And what you say and what you do, you being held accountable for. So that's the way they play. Out here, it's different. And I try to tell them, but they don't seem to believe it until something like this happens. So, just so happened to be, everybody who was at the party early were the poser gangster disciples. They gangster disciples when other gangster disciples are there. So this is like the D squad. They show up, they got their hats broke off to the right, they wearing Duke, they grabbing the girls, talking, and they sitting on the couch, throwing up gang signs, taking pictures, and they posing. Now in comes Goldie and the vice lords. And they see these dudes like, gangster disciples here. So they chilled out in the kitchen. They got their liquor, they got their weed, they got their drinks, and they got everything they need. They in there talking tough. And one of them like, man, look, man, I pop one of these bricks right now. I'm like, he ain't there for the party. Whatever's going on, he ain't there to have a good time. He's there in case I'm ready to set it up right now. You know, he on edge. They trying to get him to chill out. Rest of them like, man, this girl's here. Let's kick it. So she was like, Goldie, what's up? And all this stuff. And, you know, he's hanging out. He's seeing those gangster disciples. He's like, okay, what can I grab in here to make a weapon? So he see the fireplace and they got the poker in there. And he grabbed that poker and was like, yeah, okay, I got a poker now in case something go down. I'm set. I'm going to stab somebody with this poker. Because he's in an environment that's unsafe. I come in there, boom, big Wu-Tang medallion, boom. These dudes like, what's up, Lord? I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, well, this ain't the party I thought was going to be there. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Jeez. I was like, I know Goldie. So I'm like, what's up, Goldie? He was like, what's up? What's good with you? I was like, nothing. Who's these? Oh, this my boys and all them. I met them with them, and the one boy that's ready to set it off looking like yeah, what's up? And then they still talking about dudes over there in the corner. Cause I went and saw them too. Like, hey, how y'all doing? What's up? And they was watching to see if I was gonna shake up folks with them, and I didn't. So they were like, all right, well, still don't know who he is. He a black soul or wasn't he BD? I mean, they trying to put me with any gang they could. But everybody's paranoid and on alert. So this is a bad situation to begin with. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it nonchalant, but I'm going to chill, talk to a couple of people, then go outside. So I could be outside this party because there's people outside that's just chilling and talking. So I'm like, man, let me go out there and chill and kick it with them. So the girls in there, they partying, you know, and they used to hang, all the other girls, they used to hang around because they go to school and kick it with the gangster disciples. So they say things that they're not supposed to say if you're not gangster disciple. There's no reason for you to start yelling out gang stuff. And she was, yay, on the dance floor, throwing up the pitchforks. Just because she hang out with gangster disciples, she was sleeping with them. You're not a gangster disciple. You don't yell out 7, 4, 11 on the dance floor. And she throwing her forks, and then the vice lords just snap. 7, 4, 11. 7, 4, 11? Man, F them bricks. Man, y'all disrespecting us, man. This chick saying 7, 4, 11. Y'all gonna let that ride? And she was like, she had more heart than the gangster disciples that was there. They was like, please sit down. Don't say nothing in front of these vice lords. Because they were posers. They didn't want none of this to go down. They was like, look, they letting us coexist here. Don't start nothing. And she just got all this hard, like, yeah, this is my area. I can say 7, 4, 11 if I want to. He was like, say it again. Say it again and I'll knock you out. And then the girl, her sister jumped down in the middle of it. Stop yelling at my sister. And then he poked her in the eye with his finger. She just went crying. Ran upstairs crying. I'm outside at this time. So I got filled in with all this information. He was, look, all this arguing going on. Then she come to the door and she told me, she was like, go call the other gangster disciples because this dude in here, they tripping. I'm like, oh, God, how did I know this was going to go bad? You knew this was going to go south. So they in there yelling. I could hear them yelling going out through the door. Man, all you bricks, and y'all been disrespecting us. Man, that's the vice lord. And anybody got a problem with it, we can take care of it right now. And I knew the way he was talking, everything he was saying, like, man, I'll shoot them, man. If this go down to this, I'm going to shoot. So I said, well, he's the one with the gun. Got to be. Because he's doing a lot of talking. That's the one with the pistol. And because everything is, I shoot him right now. I shoot him, I shoot him, I shoot him. So we go all the way back. I send the tag, the beep. Got to the phone, send the beeper message. They were all coming to the party later anyway, and they was like, what? They was like, what? All this is going down over there? And they were all meeting up there later. So they didn't know what they were walking into. They was like thinking it's a party, they finna come chill. By the time they hit the corner, and we all came back, the cops were all over that place. It was like, we can't even get in over there. Something went down. And what happened was this, because we got filled in. You guys are lucky to get all the info. What happened was, in that household, one of the girls went upstairs and called the cops. So while they in there yelling and all this stuff, and they made all them other gangster disciples turn their head straight, the posers, oh my God, what are we going to do? So the D squad, they were in there, turned their hat straight, got their head down, and he was like, that's right, y'all break. And disrespectful and all this. So the cops show up for a disturbance, and they told the girl whose house it is, you better get rid of them. Send them away. So she's like, no, there's no disturbance, you guys can go. And we fine here. And the cops is, and they telling the cop, no, we got to come in. No, you don't. You ain't got no warrant. So they holding everybody hostage until the cops leave. So the cops had left from the disturbance, and they just pulled off. They turned the music down. They left. Suburbs. So the cops just left. Okay, as long as they turn the music down, we're fine. So they see one of the gangster disciples who showed up. Goldie knows him. Soon as he see him, he knew what time it was. Now, he's on crutches because he got a broke leg. So he was coming to the party, and once he was coming up to the door to come in, the girl came to the door, was like, go away, go back to the car that you came in, go back in the car and leave. And he was with this girl. And she was parking the car. She was just really dropping him off. She wanted to see if he make it. So he turned around and was trying to hurry back to the car. And then they just came flooding out. Who are you? Who are you? Where you from? Who is you? And Goldie knew him like, yeah, this the dude I'll be telling y'all about who be giving me a hard time. Yeah, this him right here. And then one of them pulled the pistol out and put it to his head. The one I told y'all had the gun. He's about to shoot him. I should shoot him right here. And he was like, nah, give me that crutch. And he snatched one of the crutches from him, and he was like, yeah, see, you've been giving me a hard time all this time. And he was like, took the crutch from him and then trying to hit him with the crutch. And then he pointed the gun at him. Stand there and let him hit you. Stand there and let him hit you. And the girl get out the car. She's screaming, what are you doing? Y'all are crazy. And then they trying to roll the window down. They roll the window down if I shoot you. So he ran the window down and they punched her in the face, and she just started crying and hit the gas and speeded out. They not used to this type of stuff out here. So she got decked in the face. He getting whacked with a crutch. Then the cops showed back up because a neighbor called the cops. Now they come back in force. Now there's more people. They run right back into the house, barricaded, turned over a table, tried to put it up against the door. Nobody coming in and out. So the cops is like, we coming in. They was, nope, you need a warrant. And if you ain't got no warrant, don't open that door. They ain't coming in here. So they at a standstill with the cops. And the cops is trying to block off the complex, and they don't know where they at. So somehow they end up hitting it out of a window. Jumped out of a back window, hit the ground running, and they running through the apartment complex, armed and dangerous. Hitting the scenes, vice lords just flying through the suburban town on foot. I don't know what happened to them. That was the last time I seen them. I seen Goldie after that, but not them. They are not used to this environment. The cops was chasing them all through the suburbs. They hitting fences. They don't know how West Side brothers get down. We ain't gonna hit no main street. We gonna be going through yards, everything to get out of there. It's the city. They had a hard time trying to get these brothers from the city. They getting out of here. They just don't know where they going. They don't know any of the streets. They way out here. They like, look, we way out of our environment. But we gonna get out of here. We can get away from the law. That's all they knew. So this time, after the police and everything clear out, the A-list gangster disciples show up and they go, y'all were here and y'all did nothing. Oh man, we couldn't. It was 7 of them and it's only 3 or 4 of us. It was a bad day for them. They were in violation and it didn't end well for them, as they weren't there to protect the ladies. Like, it's 3, 4 y'all, it's 7 of them. Y'all ain't even try. And then y'all let one of the gangster disciples get beat outside with a crutch. What is y'all thinking? Like they was like, what was you thinking? You let 7 dudes get away with this? And you just sat on the couch and never got up? You straightened your hat? Oh, you so in violation. See, this is back when violations and stuff was there, fines and penalties, and yeah, that stuff don't exist no more. But man, shoot, you had to see the gov. You know, it was serious stuff back then. Not today. But needless to say, it started another war because, see, for Goldie still frequent out here. He was going to be seen again. And he was going to have some explaining to do to a lot of people. See, that was the thing for him, that he brought those guys out there. So he had to deal with that. You know, the weight fell on his head. But again, follow me on Twitter at Karceno. I'm on Instagram at, I think it's at Karceno too. Same thing. And since I put up the David Chappelle thing, I saw that. Y'all blew my mind with that. Like, man, he was on the show. I never watched The Breakfast Club. I tell y'all don't believe me. It was a coincidence that guy just happened to be on the Chappelle show. I mean, on The Breakfast Club a couple of, 3 days ago? I didn't know that because I don't watch the show. So when they was like, oh, you just got this from there. And then I was like, well, let me listen to this show. This show has nothing about what I talked about. They talk more about what he doing today than what I was talking about on the Chappelle show. Believe you me, nobody who has ever discussed this ever mentioned the names I mentioned. Never. And somebody was like, well, black folks didn't even start paying attention to the Chappelle show. I'm like, where did they get that? Then as soon as he said that, I saw somebody on Vlad TV with the title. Blacks weren't even in the Chappelle show. And so I'm like, do these people just read the titles off the internet and that's their statement? I'm serious, because I tell you what, I knew of Dave Chappelle from like Undercover Brother. That was before the Chappelle show. Blue Streak. Like I said, he was in The Nutty Professor as Reggie. And it's funny because I was in Vegas and these people who thought I looked like when the Chappelle show got hot, like when the Rick James thing happened, people was like, he looks like Dave Chappelle, hon. I was in Vegas like, what? Dave Chappelle? I don't look nothing like Dave Chappelle. Honey, doesn't he look like Dave? And they was waiting there like I was finna perform for them. I'm like, I'm not Dave Chappelle. I mean, they was sitting there like I was gonna go, I'm Rick James, bitch. Ha 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 ha. I'm like, I'm not Dave Chappelle. Like I was gonna perform for them. Bring me back a banana cognac, bitch. Ah. I'm like, I'm not Dave. Well, crazy people, man. Some crazy people in this world. But I'm finna go back to watching this. I still have a Cat Williams video that I still didn't put up yet. I was like, I got videos that I did a whole bunch of comedy videos for a whole comedy playlist. So my doing the Chappelle show was just part of it. I did Martin, I did Chappelle, I got Cat Williams and Suge Knight. The video, I didn't even put that out yet. It's just been sitting there because Cat Williams had this new situation that happened with the Kevin Hart stuff. So that went first. That went ahead of the video that I had already done. So it's still sitting on the shelf. I just didn't put it out. Next thing you know, they're going to be like, you got that one from the Breakfast Club too. They're going to be like, Jesus, do y'all think I just sit around and have time to watch the internet? Like, what's that? No, we still cool. Okay, good. When I got House of Lies going on, not House of Lies, but House of Cards, Frank Underwood, he doing some remarkable stuff this season. So enjoy Karceno, Hood Stories 30. I'm out. And again, another hood story where I don't throw a blow.